I just got the news. The entire hot rodding community and really all of the motorsports industry is mourning today at the loss of our pioneer, Ed Iskenderian. At 104 years old, it's certainly not a tragedy, but it hurts nonetheless. I had a couple opportunities over 25 years to sit down and break bread with Isky. He's always kind to everybody, whether he knows you or he doesn't know you. He was a great man, a great pioneer, a great business owner, and the world is at a loss today. And I figured that the best way to honor him would be to break out the old 39 Ford here, which of course has a Isky equipped small block Chevy, and go have a stogie. I had the opportunity to smoke a cigar with Isky years ago, and I actually kept the butt. I have a little glass vial with the cigar that he smoked with me that, is kind of one of my little treasures. I also had the opportunity to interview him a few years ago, and he called me a few times after and told me that it was his favorite interview of all the interviews he'd ever done. I'm sure he probably tells that to everybody that does them, but it meant quite a bit to me, and I thought this would be a great time to show you and to honor his life and his memory. So go ahead and enjoy this interview that I did with the Campfather. And what would you say to those people that have been your customers and fans over the years?
That I really appreciate it, and I was great to be a part of it.
We're here with our good friend Don Waldron from Broads West. What's your story with him?
Well, the thing with me, what I like about Ed, or the part that's good for me, is he's a very approachable person. He's somebody you can sit down and talk with, and he'll tell you a story, and he calls me the wheelman because I sell a lot of wheels and that kind of crap. So,
right.
So with that, he always recommends me, oh, Don, the wheelman, that kind of stuff. So the friendship is more important to me than the product or anything else. It's just the opportunity that we get to spend with him. So.
Happy birthday to Ed. I'm glad he's here.
You.
Grateful he's here. Glad to meet you guys.
Thank you.
We're here now with Robin Millar from Drag Cartoons, and Robin is actually Pete Millar's daughter.
Yes.
Robin, thanks so much for sitting down
absolutely.
with us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so great that everybody's here to honor Ed.
Yeah, he's amazing. I've known him all my life.
Wow.
Yeah. My dad and Ed were best friends.
No kidding.
Yeah, and Dad did all of his ads.
Right, he did. And I understand he created
the idea. Campfather came up with that, yeah.
Wow. So,
and that logo is my dad's work.
That's awesome. So how did that come about?
Well, Dad is in the racing industry, and he was a cartoonist.
Right.
And so to be in it, he had to know the business, the industry, and this is back in the 50s. Mm-hmm. He wanted to do dry lakes, and then ended up doing drag racing.
Oh, wow.
And doing the cartoon, but he had to know the ins and outs of the sport to be able to be successful. And he created Cartoon Magazine.
We're able to sit down with Lanny now. Lanny, thanks for sitting with us.
It's great you guys are here.
Yeah. Hey, Lanny puts on this show on his property here every year, and it's wonderful. You guys got to come next year if you haven't been. Even if you have, you gotta come out here. Thanks for.
You're welcome. This is our 18th year.
18 years. That's incredible. And how far back does your relationship go?
50
with Ed?
years.
50 years. That's incredible. Now, do you mind sharing with us how you and Ed met?
So this is an interesting story. A good friend of mine, an engine builder, I was going down to look at some big block rockers. He had just started making big block rockers. So he said, you'll meet him down there at 10 o'clock. So I went to his plant. I pull in there, and here's this guy pulling weeds out of the planters, an old wore-out T-shirt, Cadillac, full of junk, just a place. You got to see him. It's just a driver's seat. The rest of it's magazines and stuff. So I'm there for like a half an hour. And he said, "What are you doing here?" I said, "I'm waiting for Mr. Iskenderian." "Well, hi, pal, that's me." So he went into his office, and he has a fish aquarium as big as this, about this much water, and there's a fish swimming in there. He's so big his fins out of the water. I said, "Mr. Isky, that thing needs some water." That took 2 hours of coffee cans. So that's how we met. And my friend said,
Nice.
"Don't ask him for anything, he'd be your friend for life." I didn't ask for a decal, I didn't ask for anything. And he's been gracious to me. Yeah.
Oh, that's incredible. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you worked with him over the years,
Yeah,
right?
right. We did a lot of cam testing for him in the old days.
Yeah. And you did that here on
Right
this
here on our
property?
dynos, yeah.
And why was it that they felt, they
Well,
should do it
they
here?
had an in-house dyno,
Uh-huh.
but I think it was just too busy for them,
Oh,
so
okay.
they just sent it. We're doing NASCAR stuff then,
Okay.
so we're coming up with NASCAR grinds.
Did it have anything to do with the elevation here or anything like that?
Could be the restrictor motors, yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah.
Because of the lack of air.
Yeah, it's the same.
And the engines we were doing there were restrictor motors.
Okay.
We, Ron Hornaday won his first championship here. Kirk Busch won his first championship here. We were pretty lucky.
Wow, very cool.
So we'd have 14 engines out of 32 at each event. A lot of cars.
Wow. All right, we got Gary Topalian to sit down with us. He's very busy today. So, Gary, thanks so much for taking a minute
Thank you.
to sit down with us. And
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and I hear you've got some great stories
Oh my gosh.
from Ed over the years.
Yeah, the stories, whatever they've all been true. If you look at the history of the things he's loved,
Yeah.
it's why the cams happened.
Sure.
Because
Yeah.
of the mechanical that he looks at, studies, and works by.
Yeah.
You know, it's an everyday deal
Right.
for him. You know, it's like a writer polishing his writing.
Sure,
With
absolutely.
with different
Even-
sentences.
even
And
to
then
this day, huh?
He's taking apart this different machinery and how this guy used this thing to drive this other thing and how he timed it with this, and all these things come to play. So, with these late model stuff, you really can't do much with the electronics.
That's
but when you
awesome.
know you can fix a gear or fix a bushing or whatever and
Yeah.
keep the machine going for another 50 years,
Yeah.
that's the blessing of what Isky's brought to us and
Absolutely.
to show us. It's been a great pleasure to be with him at all the events, PRI, SEMAs, all the other get-togethers. He appreciates everyone so deeply, and his memory is so deep. He always refers to, what does he do? Or something. He's always very intricate about how he remembers his memory with you, with what you do or what you left as an impression with him.
All right, we're here with my friend Sonny. Sonny, thanks for taking a minute to sit down with us. And I understand you've got quite a history with Isky, huh? How long have you known him?
I knew Isky since 1954.
Wow. And how'd you guys meet? How'd you meet Isky?
I had a friend, Junior Thompson, who was a drag racer in the infancy of drag racing in 1955.
Right.
And as with a lot of guys just getting started, they would go to Iskenderian because Iskenderian would donate them a cam if they'd put his name on the side of the car.
Sure.
So I went with Junior Thompson down to one of his original offices, and we got a camshaft, and we got what they call a kit, which was the cam, the blower, the drive, everything else.
Oh, wow.
And so then we became good friends. And I think they built a new office like in 56 or 57. And it had a whole bunch of offices for Iskenderian.
Yeah.
And he started down at one end, and he filled it up with so much crap they had to move him to the second office. And then the second office was full of crap, and eventually they moved him down to the far office because every office was full of crap. And then the end office was so full of crap, they had to go out and meet people in the waiting room. It was unbelievable.
We're back with Sonny and the Swamp Rat 3. Sonny, thanks for letting us take a look. Now, where did your relationship begin with Don Garlitz?
At Lions Drag Strip 1960, I went down there to see him run. I was talking to him, and he said, stick around, I might need some help. And so I got in the push car with him, which I have that 1960 GMC carryall.
Right,
I got in there, we pushed it down the track, went down to the far end, turned the car around, and he and I got out. We had to back the car in gear so it puke out all the nitro out of the cylinders. And then he says, okay, we're ready to go. So we got in the car and we started pushing, and then he sat up in the seat and he could see the needle on that oil pressure. And when the needle hopped up, he honked the horn, swingle opened the mag, and the car started. And the fumes came inside, and they go, Mr. Gardis, what is that? And he says, son, that's nitro. And I was hooked.
That was it, huh? You
And
were hooked.
that's the first time I met him.
Wow, wow.
And we've been friends ever since.
If you can summarize Isky in 3 words to you, what would they be?
He's just an awesome guy.
Give me 3 words that summarizes Ed to you.
A national treasure.
Very innovative.
An innovator, good friend. I don't know the third word. He's a good businessman.
So I understand you're going to light this thing off for us.
Light it
huh?
off right now.
Okay, that's exciting.
Good.
That's really exciting. Guys, wait till you hear this. Not that, but this.
Perfect.
All right, we've got Don this time, which, as I understand, Ed has a nickname for you, right?
Oh, yes. Ed has a nickname for lots of people. He's a very fun guy.
He is. He
Yeah.
is, yeah. So what is that nickname?
Well, as he thought Don was quite a nice name. It just didn't have, it wasn't very melodic. It didn't have much of a ring.
Need a little punch?
So, yeah, so he punched it up, and he thinks that I should be Belladonna. Dawna, because it still has to be Dawn, because that's me.
Right.
Yeah, so
Bella-
I was like,
Belladonna.
okay, Ed, whatever you want.
And I understand you have the great pleasure of getting to hang out with him a lot.
The greatest pleasure. It couldn't be more of a blast, and he is truly the sincerest, most humble, sweetest guy. He's aware of the huge following he has, but at the same time, he, talks about gardeners and, just all normal stuff, and what's for lunch. And
Right.
he called me the other day to tell me, I'm getting a few drops of rain this morning. So, I mean, he's just,
Yeah.
it's
Very personable.
It's
huh?
hard to kind of remember when you see him all the time that, he's this huge personality and he's so well known.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just beautiful.
Now, do you have a favorite Ed story?
I like the story about when he started smoking cigars. He was at his desk, and if you've ever seen pictures of Ed's desk, it's like, yikes. Well, they say like a genius always has a mess around, and he certainly is, especially if his desk is any representation. But back in the day when there wasn't internet and there wasn't fax and all of these things, and you were waiting for phone calls and people were back east and all of this stuff, and he got really stressed out. So cigars were what helped him calm down.
Oh, nice.
Anyway, so when he tells it, I'm
That's
not.
awesome.
It's so much funnier when he tells it because, you get that whole feeling when he's talking.
to get a car that idles like that and sounds like that. Right?
Yeah, that's what I thought. You were screwing with the guy in the other lane.
I think your dog must have dropped it
Yeah,
in
the
there.
dog dropped it, yeah.
No, really, it came out of there.
I believe it.
All right.
All right, we've got the pleasure of having Tommy Thompson in our company. Tommy, thanks for joining us today.
My pleasure, my pleasure.
Yeah. So I understand you have a great history with Isky.
I
You
do.
and your father.
I do. I was born to a drag racer who was already a legendary racer by the time I was born. And back in the late 50s,
And that was
Junior Thompson.
Junior
My
Thompson.
dad, Junior Thompson.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, back in the late 50s, the cam grinders learned that they could get a lot of publicity out of pitting the racers against each other, and they came up with the thing that ended up being the gasser wars, fueled by the cam grinders.
Wow.
And my dad happened to be at the right place at the right time, and he was very innovative, and he had a good car and a couple of good older brothers that really helped him along. And the
Right.
part that I want to emphasize most about drag racing is after World War II ended, all of these soldiers came home.
Yeah.
They had all this ability, they
Yeah.
had good jobs, and they had the desire to perform and compete,
Yeah.
and they started building hot rods. And in 1945, my dad was 11 years old, and I'm sure somebody built a car and said, "Kid, get in there and drive it." And that's how he kind of got started in drag racing.
That's
and then
awesome.
back, you know,
Now I understand, like a woman almost came in between him and drag racing.
yeah, yeah.
maybe?
When my dad was, he was a scrapper and a ladies' man when he was young, and when he was 17, he had a hot girlfriend, and she wanted to get married, and my dad was ready to rock and roll. Well, my dad's two older brothers, they knew that was a bad idea, so they cornered my dad and they said, "Junior, you can either get married to that girl, or you can drive our race car." And he thought about it for 2 seconds and said, "I'll drive the race car." And the rest was history. My favorite innovation of my dad's was when he built a new car in '61. It was a 41 Willys, again, way up in the air.
Yeah.
He took it out to the Nationals at Pomona, and the officials put a tape measure from the ground up to the center line of the crankshaft, and they saw that it was,
24 inches, right? No more than
they saw it was 25 inches,
Oh, okay.
and they kind of they've had a few beefs with my dad over the years, because
Okay.
the NHRA officials had a reputation of, jacking the racer around. My dad got tired of it, and he got back at him a few times. So they had it out for him. So when he took his car out to the Nationals and they measured, look at that, it's 25 and a half inches. We're making a new rule right now. Junior Thompson, 24 inches max. Take it home.
Wow.
So he went home and he rubbed his chin. Am I going to cut the motor mounts and lower the motor and the transmission? Scratched his head. Am I going to cut the shock mounts? And then he looked at those big front tires on the front, and the light went off on his head. What if I just look around for smaller front tires? So he started looking around, and he found a 15-inch Pirelli, put it on a spindle mount, put it on the front of the car, dropped it down right where it should be.
No kidding.
Not only did it drop it down where it should be, it was a smaller tire, so it had a smaller footprint, created less drag on the ground. It was smaller in physical shape, so it had less wind resistance.
Wow.
The car went out there and hauled ass. 2 weeks later, everybody had them. But the part I like about it best is, if you look on the front of John Force's funny car right now, what is there on there? A 15-inch front runner on a spindle mount.
Yeah.
So that's my favorite
That's awesome.
innovation that my dad came up with.
What about, do you have a favorite story with Isky?
Yeah, it involved Isky and Howard. Howard Johansson had a cam grinder company out in Corona. And my dad's brother, Eddie, had a white Studebaker that he partnered up with for Howard. So Howard did all the work and built the car, but Eddie still owned it. Well, they had it set up for Bonneville, and they took it to Bonneville, and Eddie tried to drive it. Well, he popped the clutch at the start and broke the transmission. So they kicked him out of the driver's seat and wouldn't let him drive anymore, and they wouldn't give him his car back. He would go out to Corona every once in a while, and, "Hey, I got the pink slip, I want my car." And Howard's like, "We built the car, you can't have it." Well, Eddie went to Howard's shop one day at lunchtime. Everybody was gone for lunch except for the yard kid. And Eddie said, "I got the pink slip, I want my car." The kid gave it to him. And Howard got really upset.
Wow.
Eddie went over to Isky and put an Isky cam in it, and that's kind of what was the beginning of the gasser wars.
Okay.
And it was all because Howard built the car, thought it was his.
Yeah.
Eddie stole it back.
That's awesome. So if you could sum Isky up in 3 words, what would they be?
Oh man, that's hard.
drag racing innovator,
Yeah.
I guess.
To me, he's like a grandfather, father, and an uncle. You
Yeah.
know, it's like all, you know, it's all in one.
Yeah. I was walking around looking at some cars, and I ran into this fine young gentleman. Ed, happy birthday.
Oh, thank you very much.
Than's for coming and sitting down
Oh,
with
that's
us.
a nice big hand.
It's a little bit of a mitt, huh? You too, man.
Wow, look at the size of that thing.
You too, man. You know, mine are a little more dishpan hands compared to yours. You got some battle scars here.
Yeah.
If these hands could talk, huh?
Yeah. Do you want to talk about the old days?
Yeah, let's
When
talk
this
about the
all
old
started?
days, Ed. Yeah, how'd you get started?
Well, I'm riding bicycles,
Mm-hmm.
and I have very few tools, but what I could find, I could repair my bike.
Sure.
I'm learning mechanics.
Uh-huh.
And in my neighborhood, every once in a while, something goes by with a long exhaust pipe.
Okay.
It's a Model T stripped down, made into a racing car.
Oh, okay. And this is about what year?
1934, and I'm 12 years old.
Okay, yeah.
Boy, that looks like fun.
Uh-huh.
And there's only two, and I thought there were only two in the whole world.
Yeah.
But I found out that they're all different parts of LA
Yeah.
or different outskirts
Yeah.
of California. That there's a lot of these guys, and they only have about 10 or 15, $20 invested, and it's a fun hobby.
Yeah.
And once every month or two, they go on trips.
Uh-huh.
And there's car clubs. They got names like Gear Grinders and
Uh-huh.
things like that. And in our neighborhood, two guys from the Bungholders Club
Oh, okay.
live by,
Uh-huh.
and I thought I could go over there and watch them work on their cars
Oh, okay.
and learn from the older guys.
What was the name of the club again?
Bung holders.
Bung
It's
holders.
a barrel
That's great.
with a bung hole sitting on the side.
Now, are they still active today?
Yeah, the sons, the grandsons and sons.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Now you didn't have to join the club. You could just hang out with the guys that
Okay.
are in the club.
Yeah.
And
You probably had to have a
and-
bung hole to be a member?
you didn't have to be. You could
didn't
be
have-
a
okay.
hang around guy with the guys.
Yeah, right.
And we'd go to the mountains and camp
Yeah.
overnight.
Yeah.
Come back, maybe the beach. And then we found out you want to try it out for high speed. There's a place called Muroc Dry Lake,
Oh, yeah.
20 miles long, flat as a pancake,
Uh-huh.
and they have races up there several times a year
Right.
during the summer months.
Yeah.
Oh man, we got a ride in a rumble seat to go up there
Yeah.
in 1935, we'll say.
Yeah.
And man, there's cars, there's hot rods, gow jobs and hot rods from
jobs.
all parts of California.
Where did gal job, that term,
Get up and go.
get up and gal?
This car will get up and go.
Four to plow, eight
So
to
they
gal?
started calling them gow jobs.
Yeah, okay. Awesome.
And they also call them hot iron.
Okay.
Hot iron. And they called them rods.
Yeah.
And they called them hot iron, but hot rod seemed to come after the war.
Okay. I have a question I got to ask you, Ed. An important
Yeah.
question. Because it seems like every time I see you, and it's been several times over the years, you've always got young, pretty women kissing on you. How do you do that?
I don't know what they're,
don't
I
know?
don't know.
I-
But I don't mind it. But
You don't mind it? I'm
yeah.
sure you don't.
Yeah.
Look,
So,
look at there. See what I'm
well,
talking
here's
about?
what I'm right here. Oh,
There's Kate.
yeah, I'll be darned. Yeah. Who's this one?
Kate.
Kate. Oh, yeah. Kate.
I'm sneaking up on you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I found out Hot Rod magazine is starting up. And I put my ad in there
Okay.
in the second issue.
Wow.
$10. that little 2-inch ad.
$10, huh?
And I got a call from North Carolina.
Uh-huh.
This guy is running a flathead Ford on racetracks in NASCAR.
Oh, wow.
A new organization starting up.
Oh, yeah.
And it started up from a guy, Bill France.
Bill France,
He had a
right.
gas station, and the racers used to hang around in places like Fireball Roberts and some of those guys.
All the
So
moonshine.
he wanted to start a organization so that they could make a little money, these race drivers.
Yeah.
So we're having this meeting. All you race drivers come. You're going to be part of the organization.
Wow. And you were there?
No.
Oh, okay.
No one showed up.
Oh, no.
So Bill France says, well, if they didn't show up, I'll just start it up on my own, and I'll own it.
Oh, okay.
But I'm going to get more money
Right.
for the guys that are racing on the racetrack.
Yeah, yeah.
Dirt tracks, half miles usually.
Yeah.
And they didn't know they're supposed to ask me how much experience you have. But they're such new at this.
Yeah.
They don't know the campgrounders should have some experience.
Yeah.
They don't ask, and they don't know they're buying my first cam.
Oh, no kidding.
And it's noisy, fast action, has a lot of, and I didn't know why it was good, but they went out, and they were not top runners. They were lower class. But the guys that knew more about it saw them pick up speed from what they used to do.
Right.
And they found out they bought one of my cams, and they bought one. And pretty soon they thought I was smarter than NASCAR. They started buying my cams, which were good because they had a lot of torque, low down and top mid-range, and so forth. So pretty soon I had a reputation with NASCAR.
Wow.
And pretty soon I satisfied my ambition. My ambition was to be a part of this racing and hot rodding and stuff.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a part of it.
Well, you certainly accomplished that.
Yeah.
You've got hundreds of people here to celebrate your 101st birthday, and the ones that's not even a fraction, not even a drop in the bucket of the people out there that love you because of what you've done for drag racing and hot rodding. What would you say? Look in the camera there, and what would you say to those people that have been your customers and fans over the years?
That I really appreciate it, and I was great to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And I think it was what helps is to pass on the information